So I'm going to throw in a TV. Just one. That's all we got room for in the budget. And we'll throw in a wide sofa, just one in this area. Okay, cool. So this stuff is still getting worked on here. Get these hooked up. But yeah, I think we're coming along pretty well. I like this layout. I think this is going to work cool. Once we deploy, we can get people working on the cleaning thing, and we'll get kind of the workshop set up as well. Very excited about that. Start making some money. Basically, you've got kind of these two tables. They stamp the metal, and then it goes over to another table to actually make the plate. And these kind of pile up, and then what happens is at midnight, everything you have in there gets sold for you automatically. So that will be cool. Start making some money here. So right now we're not doing too bad. The daily cash flow is we're in the positive by 604. Obviously it'd be nice if that were better, but that's all right. That'll work. Let's go in here. Okay, so we can go ahead and we could take this money now, but I think we'll actually wait. I mean, this would be automatic money. I mean, once this is up and built, we can get this and cash it in pretty much right away. But I don't want to kind of consider having that money right now because I tend to see the money and go, ooh, I have money, I'm going to spend it. And I think right now we're good. I don't need to be spending any more money, so we're gonna hold tight on that. Actually speed time up a little bit more here. These workers are moving slowly. Let's check the utilities here. Still trying to get this hooked up. Okay, and I'm just now realizing what the kind of the problem is here. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I locked this door to be safe because it was just open to the outside, and this is blocked by fence with no door. That's why these guys are not doing anything. Very observant weem. So let's see, let's go ahead and switch this back to normal because right now, even if they get in, there's nowhere to go. So that's going to go normal. And we can actually dismantle some of this fence. We do need one more fence here. And then we can dismantle this. We're going to stop short though because I don't know about movement diagonally and I want to be safe. I don't want to have an incident. So that's how we're going to do this for now. Let's see how this goes. Okay, things are progressing nicely. We've got beds coming into the cells. This stuff is getting close to done. Just about ready for me to throw doors in here. So actually, that should do it. Let me pause time real quick. Grab these jail doors. And we'll start popping these guys in here. Okay. Start the timer back up. Now, I just had a worker come in and throw a fence along here because I'm going to use this area to build the visitor center here pretty soon because I'm getting a request for that. We definitely need to get the infirmary going though, and this is something I should have been on top of was keeping this going. So as far as the research goes, that's one thing I really am not that good at. Okay, there's many things I'm not good at, but that's one of them is kind of keeping on top of that. So I got to try and remember that there. So we're going to get the visitor center in there. We're researching health so that we can put the infirmary in. That'll take care of the medical attention. It will take care of families wanting to visit. Next up is we've got staff that are exhausted. So that's kind of, I left this area open for more offices, but also for us to throw in like a staff room. And I may actually kind of build that off to the side here. I guess I could redesignate the area, right? Huh, that's interesting. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this now. We're going to fill this area in. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically just kind of pop this through and do staff area on maybe like one side of it. And then I'll lay down office stuff kind of later as I need it. So that should work. What we're going to do is we're just going to put a door in here. Staff door. Something like here and maybe on this side too. I don't really need one to go outside. I think it's probably just fine the way it is there. We are going to need power up there though. Let's see, this guy's a little higher up. probably do it. Cool. So hopefully that's going to kind of get us taken care of here. I'm going to actually go ahead and delete the CEO's letter. We don't need to read that. That did say CEO, right? All of a sudden that didn't sound right. CEO. Okay. Very cool. I've got the door held open here. Let's see. We have... These cells are all prepped to go, so that's very cool. They're all set up. So hopefully these guys are going to start getting moved over to their cells. Excellent. Let's go ahead and designate this area as a staff room, or at least a chunk of it. That's probably fine. And then what do we need? I forgot. A chair and a drink machine is the double chair. I think it's just the wide sofa. And the drink machine. Cool. Very cool. Got some room for growth. Not too expensive. Kind of a small room there. Excellent. So let's see. Health is just about done. That's cool. That's going to let us put down the infirmary. Let's check that out. So just about there. We'll speed this up till we hit it. Okay, infirmary. And I can just fill this area. Let's just do that. And then we need a medical bed. Medical bed, there you are. And then of course we have to hire people for that. Okay, it says... Yeah, I didn't know if it had a requirement. I think one of the grants requires that you have 2 doctors. It's something like the high-end medical facility or something like that. Health and well-being, yeah, something like that. Let's see. Hire doctors and psychologists. I guess it just says doctors. But I think if you have this, it puts it over here in your to-do list. Pretty sure it said something like hire 2 doctors, so that's cool. Guards should start bringing in those guys that need medical attention. We have exhausted staff, but you know what? That's on you to go rest. That's not my problem now. Let's set up a room for you. So let's go ahead and get this guy set up next. Let's see. Foundation. This is going to be our visitor center. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. We need to demolish now the fence. Actually, nothing... Oh, yeah. I was going to say nothing says I have to go down that far, but then I've just got this extra bit of wall hanging down there, and I just can't do it. I can't do it. So bring this to here. Then we'll lay out the foundation, and we'll have the visitor center going and everything. Now, one of the concerns here is that... I had this kind of issue happen last time, was that the prisoners were actually getting let out here to come down when I had it before. But I think, like, this might be okay. The thing to do is probably put a standard, like, maybe even open this up and run the fence all the way down here. So that, yes, if they come out here, it's fine because their quickest route's going to be down here and that's going to all be fenced in. I think that's probably going to be the way to go. Let's go ahead and just do that anyway because I'm a little paranoid at this point. I've had these issues before. I don't want to have them anymore. And once that's up, we'll pop a hole in here. Workers are going to end up taking the long route. I could put a jail door here, but really that just requires a guard to run all the way out here anyway. And I'd rather have the workers have to run around. I'm in less of a hurry for them to get places than I am for the guards. So you can take the long route. You guys can run. Okay, cool. Very cool. Let's actually take a look at our valuation. Just like to check in on that every once in a while. 50,000, so we can actually sell this right now. Very cool. And so my assumption is then that, because I don't know anything about this, let's see, selling your prison will allow you to take the profits, right? Much higher, right, you will still be able to continue running this prison. Huh, but you can only sell a prison once. Wait a second. You will still be able to continue running this prison. Huh. Interesting. Okay, so you would sell it and you would get the cash and then you could stick around. Interesting. All profit from the sale will be transferred to your new site. So I don't know if they prompt you for that when you do it. I've never done that before. I don't know if it's, you know, you hit sell and then it asks you at that point if you want to continue with this one or build a new one. I don't know. We will probably find out though, because I like the idea of checking that out. I don't know anything about it. But one thing that's killing me is the starting grant. I'd love to get rid of that. And part of me thinks that has stuff to do with, has something to do with getting the families in here to visit. In fact, speaking of, speaking of that, let's do this and get some utilities, at least power down here. And we do need a door. I think we're going to go with a jail door for this guy. I may not need it with a fence and everything, but I just want to... Oh, we don't have the funds for that. We're going to have to wait till we get some money. Let's speed this up a hair. Okay, is that a problem? I thought I heard fighting, but it seems like we're doing okay. Okay. The big thing is to check the valuation. We have had no serious injuries, so that's cool. And we've had 101 hours without incident, so that's the important thing. What's odd to me is I don't see these guys getting brought into their cells. I know that I've selected them and right-clicked that before, so that may be what we have to do, kind of individually set that up. I don't know that, but probably something to look into, because you can see they're getting brought back to their holding cell. That just complicates things for me because they're right by the entrance. Kind of freaks me out a little bit. Let's see. I guess I didn't put a door in here yet. I got interrupted. Oh, we didn't have the funds. It's all coming back to me. We have to wait for the funds there. That's fine. Let's go ahead and get these guys moved in if we can. I'm going to go ahead and pause the time here. And I don't even know if this matters. Can I just, like, click one and can I just keep clicking the same cell? Previously I actually selected and I was remembering, okay, you go to cell 2, you go to cell 3, but I think we're going to try just selecting in one, because if that's the case, that's a lot easier. Did I get everybody? I think so. Let's get you guys in your cells. How about that? See here, I was talking about this before. Look at the workers kind of hung up on the wall and this door. They're keeping the doors open. This is problematic. That is not a good thing. I don't know what he's doing, but if I select him and right-click, he'll go off. So, like I said, it's really weird because I don't remember seeing this behavior in my previous run, but what do I know? I am not that observant. Well, unfortunately, I had a little incident, and it didn't seem too bad, but it did count against us in the valuation. So we have serious injuries. So that was not good. Now, obviously, we're low on money, and so I'm kind of figuring we're going to jump in here into grants. So we're going to go ahead and take the cell block A and get that taken care of. So we now have some more money to spend. So this is going to let me finish up this place here. So we get some visitors in here because that's kind of one of the things on the list. We still do have to raise the prisoner capacity, so I think that's going to be next on the list, is kind of add more to this. Right now we've got 7 out of 12. If we were to bring in more, you know, it'd probably be at least 8, so we would certainly not have room. So let's go ahead and do some planning here. Let's do it this way again, so we can see here. That's a cell, it's wall, a hallway, a wall, and the next cell. Excellent. I probably could have counted before how wide that other room was, but that's okay. We're looking at doing something like that. Mostly I just want to get the foundation set here. I've already gone ahead and I've moved the fence in. The fence did run along here, but I actually built another one on top of it, and once it was done I took out the fence here kind of in preparation for this. So that's cool. Let's throw a door on there. Right in the middle, and I think I'll go ahead and remove this planning, and we'll let that go. So let's see. Now I thought we had an entrance kind of planned here already, but this is my planning confusing me here. I didn't actually put a door in here yet. So we'll go ahead and do that. Okay, and we'll speed time up here a bit. Kind of get things moving along. Now my officers were a bit injured, so I actually selected them and right-clicked on the bed, and they did run over there and get all fixed up, so that was cool. I wasn't even sure if that would work, but I thought, you know what, I better try it, because they're both pretty low. There've been a little scrapes here and there, so it was time to finally get them looked at. So let's see, we've got a prisoner set to be released in a little bit, and again we have the families waiting to visit. So I've got the entrance here, so I'm not really sure what the deal is. I think that maybe these guys are just prioritizing the new stuff. We'll see if they can get over here and get this stuff done. I'll go ahead and kill the planning here. Let's see. Okay, cool. Now we just need a wall. I'm actually going to pause time here. Let's grab wall. There. And I guess we'll just go ahead and get this thing going. Why not? Oh, that was not what I wanted. I don't know if it's auto-saving or what. It kind of hung up there. We'll pretty much do the same thing as above, although I don't think I need all the solitary cells, so we may put like a common room back here. Kind of thinking that might be the way to go. Whoops. Let's do it like that. Okay. So there's my walls, and then what we'll do is, it is safe to do that. I was going to say it's safe to pop a hole because it can't go anywhere, but I think what we're going to do, again, to keep things kind of separated, we'll just put a standard door here. We'll get the timer started up again. Okay. Here we go. So these guys are going to get going over there. Cool. So we're going to have to get in all the utility stuff as well. Ah, the utilities. Let's see. That should do. And we'll just follow this pipe down again. We'll go one above. Get all of this situated. Something like this. I don't need that there. Maybe here. We don't want to go in long distance, right, because it won't have pressure. I've never seen the end of the pressure on a small pipe, but I'm not really about to test that out. So I think this distance is probably not bad. So that's cool. Now you have an entrance. What is the deal here? I guess I could pop a prison door. It's probably safe, right? Sure. Let's see. Let's do a standard door. This is for visitation. And even if they come through it right now, they'll be in this kind of fenced-in area. Hopefully that won't be an issue. Hopefully. Now I did cut back on some workers. We're trying to earn some money. I was definitely getting low. So I got rid of, I think, 2 or 3 of them. So that saved us a little bit of money, but of course that means a little bit longer wait. I'm trying to get this thing set up. What I'm hoping is that finishing this capacity here frees up this part of the valuation, the grant here. So I think that might be the last thing. Raising. Oh, this is for the cell block thing. I don't know. I was thinking maybe it was the visiting families. I'm not sure, because we still have that kind of hanging over our heads. Go through. Why are you hanging up on the door? Okay, so I have an entrance. I don't really know what's happening here. Are you guys going to come do this or what? They don't seem to want to work on this. So I've probably screwed something up. I'm not exactly sure why they aren't working on this right now. It says entrance. I even have a jail door here. And I've got this guy up front, so... What are you guys doing? Where is he going? Oh, that's the chef. He's carrying his food in. Okay, well anyway, I'm not really sure about that. We'll have to look into that in a bit, but we're going to go ahead and pause this real quick and get some of this stuff going. So Get beds in place. Now I could kind of count this. I've got 6. I have capacity for 6 more. So I'm assuming we've got cells in here that are open. Yeah, because we've got 12. So we could do 6 more. So what I could do if I wanted to save money, and I think this kind of occurred last time, or at least I talked about it, was I could just do up some of these cells. And because we're a little bit low, I actually think that's what I might do. Is we'll just get like 4 of these ready. In the worst case scenario, that means that we get 4, that puts us at 16, which gives us room for 10. Let's say we had 11, 12. Well, we have the holding cell, so I think we'll be okay there. I think that's going to be alright. Okay, I really wish these workers would kind of get down here and resolve this. I mean, I could see if they were hanging up on the jail door, but they're not even coming over here. Can I just, like, make you go over here? You, come over here and work. Huh, that's really bizarre. Requires an entrance. Okay, we're going to try a little something here. I'm going to put a normal door right on this part, too. We'll see if that helps. There you go. Bring it in. Bring it down here. They're going to do it? Doesn't look like it. Huh. Well, I may end up kind of pulling that up then. I'm really not sure what else to do. It's kind of bizarre. I've done stuff along the fence before. I even have that here. In fact, let's go ahead and open this up now that we're looking at it. We'll lock this open. Take out the fence to here. So yeah, I really don't know what's going on here. Let's see. I'm gonna actually kill all of the plan, just kind of make sure I'm not looking at any planning here. Huh? Really weird.